These chickens are getting ballsy. Shoot, I may even have some shop chickens now. Attack chickens, guard chickens. I think that one's a rooster maybe, but he's cool. Today we're gonna be doing a power disc brake kit on the 55 Plymouth Wagon. I changed the wheels on it. Those Mustang wheels just drove like crap. I mean, they were really bad. I put the stock wheels back on, but the problem is the rears are 15s and the fronts are 16s. But since I am a Plymouth hoarder, I have a whole pile of 15 stocks. But check this out, on Facebook Marketplace, I picked up rim hubcaps. I filled the entire back seat of my pickup truck with hubcaps. Check this out. For 40 bucks, I got all these hubcaps. I mean, I haven't counted them, but that's a lot of hubcaps. Cadillac, Lincoln, Buick, Chevy, Dodge, all kinds of hubcaps. I even got the rings to go from 16 to 15. So if you have a 15-inch hubcap and a 16-inch rim, which that may come in handy if we keep the 16s on the Plymouth. So let's get into this. All right, so I ordered my kit from Cantor. I'll put the website right here. But it came with everything. It came with the hubs, the bearings, the discs, the calipers, the brake master cylinder, the brake booster, the hoses, and all the other pieces you need to make it work. I haven't gotten the brake booster in yet. Another thing too is I bought Portawalls, which are those clip-on sidewalls. They pop into the tread. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this tire off. So first things first, need to pop off the dust cap, bearing cover, dust cap, whatever you want to call it. And the kit came with new bearings. Let me grab a rag. All right, we need to remove the cotter pin. These bearings were bad anyways, but I did end up taking the car to the alignment shop. I got it aligned and I put it on the highway. I went about 70 miles per hour on the highway with those Mustang wheels, and this car just drove like absolute dog crap. I mean, it was terrible. So I pulled them off. I pulled the front wheels off, put the 16s, the steel wheel 16s back on it, and it ran fine. I mean, I was going 70 on the highway, cruising with those 16s, just floating her. Yeah, this is gonna be the way to do it. Is go stock wheels with white walls and then hubcaps. It's gonna look cooler anyway. Another thing I want to do is I want to paint the car. I'm gonna probably repaint the car and then put a roof rack on it. We need to remove our brake shoes and our hardware. All right, so you got two nuts on the back of the plate here and here. It also holds the shoe on. So one here, right on the back. Now we can go ahead and remove the spring, and then we should be able to pull these rods out. Our wheel cylinder assembly, just got to undo this hose and then you can pull this off. But it's pretty much apart. This steering knuckle can be pretty frustrating to remove, but basically there's a bolt that goes through here, nut on the back, and then there's another bolt right here. And this, we should be able to remove the plate. All right, so since I got this all apart, I went in and cleaned everything up, painted the steering arm deal. So next step is take your bracket. You're gonna have 3 bolts, 2 long bolts on the bottom, and then 1 bolt on the top. And there's no way to mess this up. I mean, the caliper mounts to the back, you know, toward the back of the car. You can't put it the wrong way. And then you have these little bushings. These bushings drop on your bolts, spacers. They're not bushings, they're spacers. Spaces it out. It should slide on. And then you take your steering knuckle, slide it on the back. Once I get those in, go ahead and stick the bolts on, or the nuts on. What does it look like, a 7/8? Yep, 7/8. It's time to pack our bearings, install them in the hub. So this is what we got. We have an inner and an outer bearing. We have a bearing seal, and we got our cap. So, and then high temp disc brake grease. Go ahead and do the rear bearing first. Bearing. What I like to do is just take it and force the grease into the side of the bearing until you see it squish out the other side. Take it, put it in your hand. See how now it's on both sides. Hopefully these bearings are worth a dang. I mean, I would think that they, you know, for $1,000, assume they would give you, hopefully they give you good bearings. That car had sat since 1980, so they were at least, you know, what's 1988, 9, 10, 11, 12. They were at least 40 something years old, minimum. Go ahead and drop that into the hole. We don't want to be stingy with our grease, so we'll just put a bunch in there. It goes in there, flat side facing out. Castle nut's a little too big. I couldn't put the cotter pin all the way in, the full cotter pin, so I just put one leg in. A little janky, but anyway, here is our disc. And we got our caliper. We go grab the cover for the center cap and directions. Take one dust cap O-ring, okay? So put a little grease on it. All right, install it right there. Caliper. We need some Allen wrenches. This is a relatively easy install. I mean, there's not much to it. Calipers and rotors are from a set 1978 to 1981 Camaro / Firebird. Wow. So far the Plymouth has a Dodge, 90s Dodge engine and transmission. It's got a Ford Explorer rear end with disc brakes. It's got 2006 BMW seats. It has a 2017 Tahoe rear seat. And now it has 1979 Camaro disc brakes. And by the time I get done with this car, it ain't even gonna be a Plymouth no more. I'm gonna tighten these up. All right, we can hook our brake line up to the back of the caliper. 2 copper washers and a bolt. I'm gonna test fit my factory 15s and see if they fit. Uh-oh. Well, that sucks. Looks like it's rubbing. Let's try a little bit of a spacer. Here, we'll try a little thin spacer first. Looks like it's still rubbing. Yeah, that sucks. Well, I guess we'll try it just with the 1-inch spacer. Really sucks. I really didn't want to have to put these spacers on there, but I really don't think it's gonna mess with anything too bad. That is as clear as you can get right there. I'll go ahead and get some tires put on it, and then I have to wait for the Portawalls to come in because I don't have a tire machine. Pretty pissed right now. I ordered supposedly a full disc brake kit from Canter. Okay, so it's been a month and 1 week, like a month and 6 days. And I've been sitting here waiting for my power brake booster and my master cylinder. I'm like, man, what's going on? I call them. They're gonna call me back. Call them. They're gonna call me back. Call them. They're gonna call me back. Never got a call back. Finally, I called today at a month and a week. Where's my power booster? They say, you ordered a wheel kit. We don't offer a kit that has power disc brakes. Well, let me go on the website. I check. Hey man, it says and has a picture of a brake master cylinder, booster, line, the whole kit, everything from booster all the way down to calipers. He said, well, you ordered the wrong kit. But we don't even, I said, okay, that's fine. How much does the booster cost? We don't offer the booster. Well, hold on now. Why does the kit show a booster and you say that I ordered the wrong kit, but you don't even offer the booster? So I'm pretty upset with Canter right now. Probably never gonna use them ever again because they wasted a lot of my time, my money. I spent a little over $1,000 on this kit. I understand that it was fairly priced, but that was me thinking that it came with a booster. So I'm just gonna go ahead and figure something out. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a booster that goes on a 68 Dodge Charger. I don't know yet. I don't know. I may end up just doing manual brakes, and I may put just a dual master cylinder from a 68 Charger, because it will bolt straight up to the firewall from what I was told. I don't know yet. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do. But for right now, my car's been sitting for a month, and yeah, I got disc brakes all the way around, and then I have a single master cylinder. I don't know. I guess I'll bleed it, and just so I can move the car around out of the shop, and I'll have to wait another week and order in another booster. But whatever. It's frustrating. It really is. But I'm trying to stay positive. So I need to grab my stock 15s, sand them down, and I'm just gonna paint it. All right, I got it all sanded down, hit it with some brake clean. Not too worried about it. I'm just trying to get it cleaner than it was. I got some rust stop that's gonna kill the rust. Once I put that hubcap on, you're only gonna be able to see about that far down. I actually ordered these on eBay, and I went ahead and cleaned up my lip. Go ahead and pop it on there. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, looks good. These are from a 55 Dodge DeSoto, but I think they look pretty good, especially once I get those white walls on there and I take this bull crap off, these Mustang wheels. I think it'll look pretty good. And I have these too. These are Dodge, but I only have 2 of them. What I did is, I think since I bought all these for 40 bucks, kind of just do hubcaps and then I can swap them out. But I bought 2 49 to 50 Plymouth hubcaps, and they look just like this, except for they say Plymouth on them. So I could put maybe Dodge on one side, Plymouth on the other side, or Dodge on the back, Plymouth on the front. My Portawalls came in, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this tire off and bring it to the tire shop. We can go get some good used tires for her. Yeah, so they didn't have any used tires, so I had to get some new tires. And you can see those Portawalls on there. All right, here they are. Look pretty darn good. So since I was misled by Canter, I'm gonna go ahead and put the power brakes on hold and just do a master cylinder, just manual. So what do I have here? According to the guys on the the forms, the Plymouth forms. They say this should bolt straight up to the firewall, and it's from a 68 Dodge Charger. And the benefit of having this compared to what's on the car is this is a dual chamber. So you'll have 2 lines, you know, one for the front and one for the rear. That way, if you blow, you know, a caliper or you blow a line, you'll still have rear brakes, or if you blow a rear brake, you'll still have front brakes. Whereas with this old master cylinder, you have 1 line and it's rubber. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to bolt this up, see if it works, and then I'll run 2 metal lines down to my little junction block down there. And there's supposed to be a car show tomorrow. We'll see if we can make it. And then I need to repair my rims. I got some rust on them, the front rims, and my tires are supposed to be here today from Walmart. My tire machine hasn't came in, my little manual $50 tire machine. See if we can go to that little car show. It's supposed to be open admission in Springtown, Texas, so let's see. Our hose was a 7/16, and then our firewall bolts. We got 4 firewall bolts. All right, now that the 4 bolts are out, nice. Let's see if the new one works. I wonder if this will make my car as cool as the 68 Charger. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fit. Well, the rod's a little too long, but let's see if it adjusts. Yeah, so here's the rod. It looks like you just loosen that lock washer. Should be able to back it out. It's only about a 1/4 of an inch too long, so I'll go ahead and back that washer off, twist it down. Looks like that'll do it. Already feels like I'm driving a 68 Charger. First things first, we got to put our little caps in there. Grab some DOT 4.4 brake fluid. I don't know if this master cylinder is brand new or if it's rebuilt, but it looks really nice. Take a rod or a bolt and then start pumping, and you'll see air bubbles come out, and then you can crack these loose. All right, got it. I have some copper coated brake line. This is a steel brake line, but it's copper coated. As the rear of the master cylinder goes to the front brakes, and the front of the master cylinder goes to the rear brakes. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, and I'm gonna have to put a loop on the top and a loop on the bottom, and that's just gonna give it some flexibility. So if you ever notice that on your brake system, by the way, why it has those loops is because it has to be able to flex. If it's just a straight hard line going down to it, when your body moves independently from the frame, and what it'll do is it'll end up jerking on the line, then that's how you blow a line out. But if you have those loops on there, it's gonna give you some flex. It's really cheap, by the way. It comes with the fittings. I think I paid like maybe 20 bucks on Amazon for 25 feet. Buy 2 of these for 40 bucks and do your whole car. I've had this for a little over a year. This was I paid like 20 bucks for it on Amazon. Look at that, shiny. It'll be shiny for a couple weeks and then it'll look like crap. Okay. So from there to there should cover it. So I'll probably pull out, I don't know, imaginary loop here and another imaginary loop. Probably cut it right there. Copper line cutter. All right, that's the line to our front brakes. All right, got my little line bender 2000. Go ahead and stick it in there. There we go. That's good enough. There we go. And that's how she looks. All right, it's gonna look something like that. Our rear is gonna go down to the junction block on the front brakes, and then we'll do our rear brakes here in a second. These chickens are getting ballsy. Shoot, I may even have some shop chickens now. Attack chickens, guard chickens. I think that one's a rooster maybe, but he's cool. I'm not sure how, why, or when, but my threads on my distribution block for the front brakes, they're stripped. So what I have is 67 F100 that I've been parting out. It has a proportioning valve on it, so that'll actually solve a couple of issues. Instead of me having to barrel the brake lines together straight to the master cylinder, I can just use that proportion valve, and it has a brake light switch on it, which I don't know if it works, but it's there. Everything else is going to line up perfect. It's just going to be that one line that I actually had to remake, my driver front line. But basically that's hot rodding for you. You make one thing, put it on, then you have to do it over and do it again and keep doing it until it fits. The moment of truth. Will it brake? Will it run? Will it stop? So I got all my lines hooked up. We got our junction from our 67 F100. So I went ahead and bled it off camera, and I went inside of the cab and I just whomped on the brake pedal really hard a couple times. Checked all my fittings. Everything seems dry. So there's no leaks. And from me whomping on it, I can't turn the... So I know the brakes are working. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all these tools, put the tire back on, move those washers and dryers out of the way, and take it on a little test spin. I guess first I'll go ahead and drive it around the yard. Man, it sounds good. Drive around the yard just to make sure. Woo, those brakes work good. All right, let's get some speed and slam on them. Make your bets now. Is there a leak? Man, I can smell something. Maybe I spilled some brake fluid on the header. Dry. No leaks. These Mustang wheels, they suck really bad. I mean, yeah, it's really, the car's really undrivable with those tires on there. Oh, I had it in second gear the whole time. I took this wheel to the tire shop, and they told me that it was trash. They were like, "Oh, we can't get it to seat." I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's full of rust." So they told me I need to buy a brand new wheel. I said, you know what, give me my wheel. I'm gonna go buy tires online and mount them myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this grinder wheel with a pack with a wire brush on it. I'm gonna wire it all down, clean it up real good, maybe hit it with some paint. And then I ordered some tires. They are 215 75 R15s. They're a little slightly narrower than the rears, and a lot narrower than what's on the front right now. Just what's on the front right now, I can barely even drive the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up those rims, put these on there. I also bought this tire cement. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick some on those Portawalls, because I've heard stories about these things flapping you know, anything over 50, they start to flap and they'll fray, and I'd hate for it to come up and, you know, tear the side of my quarter panel up. Today's the car show. I'm about to take these wheels to the tire shop. I'm gonna have to put one of these funky oval valve stems in this wheel. Hopefully it fits. I guess it just bolts on there. Got them mounted, balanced. Really gonna be excited when my tire machine comes in so I don't have to deal with tire shops anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and mount these. See, I think the problem I'm having is how wide, you see how wide that tire is? I mean, our surface, road surface contact compared to that is insane. So I think these thinner tires are gonna give me a lot better handling. All right, there she blows. Let's go take her for a test spin, see how it runs. Definitely not all over the road like it was before. I mean, now we just have to see if our hubcaps fly off, like on that Thunderbird. I have faith in those rear Plymouth hubcaps, but those Dodge hubcaps in the front, they're a little sketchy, a little dented up and kind of weight. I need to go to the gas station too, because we're almost on empty. That's another thing too I need to fix is the gas tank. I can only put about 8 gallons of gas in it, and then the tank starts to leak because I had to cut the tank open to clean it out, and then the sock, they used to put metal socks in for the pickup, that was all busted apart and rusted, so I took that out and put a modern sock. It actually came off of a 2006 Dodge Ram, and then I welded the tank back up, but there were some very small pinholes you couldn't even tell, and it's just enough to where it kind of trickles out. So I'll either have to put like a fuel cell in the back. So in the back of the car, it has a spare tire, and I'm thinking I could just put the spare tire off to the side and put a fuel cell in where the spare tire goes. But that's the only problem with these cars and gas tanks. It's a special gas tank. It's shaped like an L. That's running pretty good. Down the road straight. Until I hit the brakes. I need to bleed the brakes. Looks like it's pulling a little bit. The good news is I haven't heard any of the hubcaps fall off, so save ourselves 20 bucks. Oh, traffic, man. I've noticed what it does is it'll go up to about like 220. I think I have a 190 thermostat in it. It'll go up to about 220, and then the cooling fan will kick on, and it'll drop back down to like 185, 190. It'll bounce back and forth, and the cooling fan will just stay on the whole time you're running the car. You turn it back off, turn it back on. If the car is still any bit of hot, it'll kick the cooling fan back on. tank. If I can get air conditioning in it. We've got a half a tank now. Now the fan just kicked on and we're down to about 190. Yeah, this car runs great. I do notice one of our Portawalls, and I need to take the tire off, take the air out of the tire, and then maybe massage the Portawall back into the tire because it's kind of funky. I think I'm gonna go down to Paul's house. Paul is the guy that Paul's the guy that gave me that 1951 Plymouth for free. I need to figure out who owns all those right there. Looks like a Packard. We got a bunch of stuff over there. An Edsel maybe? I don't know. All right, we got a new problem. My transmission's making a crazy shudder noise. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but listen. I don't know. All right, let's check this transmission fluid. See that? They like wrinkle up. All right, let's start it up and put it in neutral. Idea what's going on. Trans fluid level looks good. It doesn't really do it too bad in drive or reverse, and doesn't do it in park, but as soon as you put it in neutral, the thing screams like crazy. So whatever that means, I am not sure. I guess run it till it blows. Take it on the highway and see how it does. We got about a 25-30 minute drive to Springtown to go check out that car show. I don't know if I'm going to pull up or stay. I may just circle around, assess the scene, and see how it looks. Oh man, that noise. transmission. It supposedly was rebuilt, but something's wrong with it. It's making some noise. Well, I guess that'll be it for this little journey. I guess I'll have to go ahead and figure out why the transmission is acting up. So I'll see you guys on the next one.